Welcome back. My name is Jeb Smith. So over the last couple of months, we've talked a lot about mortgage forbearance as well as evictions and foreclosures. Yesterday, FHA came out and released some very important news regarding mortgage forbearance as well as foreclosures and evictions. Not only are they going to extend their foreclosure and eviction moratorium for anyone that has an FHA loan, but they're also going to allow people to continue asking for mortgage forbearance up to 1 year from that period, which we're going to dive into here in just a minute. So if you've been watching my videos over the last 9 months, we've talked a lot about this subject. We've talked about, Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, their eviction and foreclosure moratorium, as well as the process of filing for mortgage forbearance. And I want to talk about those for just a moment here because that one is coming up sooner rather than later. That one's going to expire sooner than the one that FHA has. And if you're looking to take advantage of mortgage forbearance, you essentially have just over a week to do so. And what do I mean by that? Well, mortgage forbearance is the process of calling your lender. If you have a Fannie Mae or Freddie Mac backed loan, you can call your lender as part of the original CARES Act that was passed back in March and ask for relief on your mortgage bill, on your mortgage statement every month. And what that means is that the payments aren't forgiven. They don't just go away, but your lender will allow you to set up some sort of payment plan, potentially defer those payments to the end of the loan, set up a repayment plan, do some sort of loan modification. But essentially, they allow you to more or less go through your monthly, daily activities and not have to pay your mortgage for a specified period of time. And when this was passed back in March, the CARES Act gave you up to 1 year of potential mortgage forbearance. So, when you called your lender, they may have given you 3 months up front or 6 months up front, but you could continue to call back and get that extended up to 1 year. And so, we've talked in videos about how the majority of these are going to start expiring in March because that's when a lot of people originally asked for mortgage forbearance. Well, if you never asked for mortgage forbearance and you've been affected by the pandemic recently, there's still an opportunity to do that. And you could get up to 1 year of not forgiven payments, but you can miss your mortgage payment for up to 1 year and pay it at a later period of time. And honestly, there's very few repercussions of doing so. It might limit your ability to purchase something or refinance while you're in that process, but outside of that, it shouldn't negatively affect your credit score. But yesterday, FHA came out and kind of one-upped, if you will, Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac. And they said, not only are we going to push the eviction and foreclosure moratorium out until the end of February, so they're extending it until the end of February. So if you have an FHA loan right now, they're going to push out the potential for you to get evicted or foreclosed upon if you haven't been making your payments and you're not in mortgage forbearance until the end of February. Not only did they do that, they also said if you're suffering from this pandemic, you're having trouble making your payments, you can also call and ask for mortgage forbearance for an initial period of 6 months and then an extension of 6 months. So a potential 1 year from February, which means that if you called in, say, mid-February and asked for mortgage forbearance from FHA and you extended it, you could have missed payments up until February of 2022. I want to take a minute and pull up the press release from HUD that states exactly what they're talking about here. I'll also put a link in the description below if you want to read the full thing, but I just took the time to highlight one portion of it because I feel like that's why most of you are watching. But it says the Federal Housing Administration announced it's extending the foreclosure and eviction moratorium for single-family FHA insured mortgages for an additional 2 months through February 28th of 2021. FHA is also extending through February 28th the deadline for single-family borrowers with FHA insured mortgages to request an initial COVID-19 forbearance from their mortgage servicer to defer or reduce their mortgage payments for up to 6 months, which can be extended for an additional 6 months. So That's 1 year from February. My guess is you're probably going to see Fannie and Freddie follow suit here, push it out a little bit further. We've been talking about this for months, how this is probably going to continue. Now, as of yesterday, we had the House and Congress, House and Senate pass the stimulus bill, which is going to provide some relief to renters up to $25 billion. It's also going to push the eviction and foreclosure moratorium for all loans out until the end of January. So you're going to get a month extension from the end of the year, which was the original expiration of the foreclosure and eviction moratorium. So it's going to give people an additional month. And my guess is you're probably going to see it extended even further. They're going to continue to provide relief. They're going to continue to provide stimulus until there's some hope that this is over. So we do have a vaccine now. People are starting to get the vaccine, but it's going to take months for that to actually have an effect on the economy. And once it does, you're going to see things loosen up a little bit. But for the meantime, you're probably going to continue to see these moratoriums continued, pushed out, and hopefully with this additional stimulus, there now is an additional stimulus check that's coming along with that. Hopefully that will give people some relief, the ability to make payments that they weren't able to make, potentially pay the landlord that maybe they were behind on their payments, and hopefully help out because that will soften the blow when all this comes to when all of this stimulus ends, when these moratoriums end. But for now, they're going to continue to extend it, and that's another reason that we've talked about why you're not going to see this huge wave of foreclosures come up in 2021. It's just going to there's going to be relief, there's going to be programs to help people, there's going to be further stimulus. It's going they have to help out in this situation because of how it was created and what they did initially to keep people from working and providing income for their families and so on and so forth. So, as I've always said, I'll continue to update you guys as this information comes out. As always, I appreciate you taking the time to watch. If you haven't done so already and you're still here, do me a favor, hit that like button. Subscribe to my channel if you like more content like this. But for now, I appreciate you taking the time to watch. Appreciate the support, as I've mentioned, and I hope to see you again soon. Have an awesome day. Bye-bye.